Alrighty guys, welcome. We are back, we're ready to go. So this is our first real, well, I'd call this the official opening for the year for me. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. Back to full trading from now on. So without further ado, guys, hope you're all doing well. And let's get this show on the road. As always, good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening, no matter where you are around this world. I hope you're all doing well, guys. Welcome to another big London session. Once again, free Forex education. It's what we do best here. We'll help teach you guys how to trade with patience, discipline, more importantly, trade the plan and have a bit of fun and learn in the meantime as well. So that's what we're here for, guys. And obviously here to look for quality entries, not quantity, quality. And that is the plan for the year, guys. That is what I'm going to be doing all year, looking for quality setups that tick the box in accordance to my plan, in accordance to my rules, in accordance to what has worked for me for the past 4 years or so consistently. So that's what I will be doing. And without further ado, if you're not done so, guys, hit the like button. Those of you on TikTok, smash the screen, and we will have a look. First of all, we'll have a look at the news just to see if there's anything about nothing that should affect, well, obviously it could be breaking news anytime, which will obviously affect what we do, could affect what we do. But other than that, there is nothing scheduled that should have much of an impact on our particular session. There is a Japanese bank holiday today. A fair bit of movement still in the pound yen, probably off the back of that pound. Let's see moving forward. So yeah, nothing even for the US session really. So pretty smooth sailing in regards to news today. Moving forward, we do have some core PPI and PPI month-to-month CPI for the pound as well. So USD news and pound news. It's Tuesday for USD news, pound news on Wednesday. I'll be on stream for that. Thursday, some Wednesday, there's some, again, high impact US news. Thursday, GDP for the pound. So pretty big week. And then Friday, retail sales. So big week for our session. Anyway, we'll do more of a deep dive into that closer to the events. In the meantime, smash the like button and let's get to work, guys. Let's do what we do best and let's analyze the charts and see what we can come up with moving forward. So as I do, I will, and as I already mentioned, I'll be starting this year instead of GJ used to be the probably more so to focus, and it was always the pair that I would analyze first. This year it's flipped, so gold is the pair I will analyze first. Gold is the main focus for me to trade. So let's start with gold and let's look at the weekly time frame. Now, previous weekly candle closed a very strong bullish candle, well engulfing this resistance. By the looks of it, in my opinion, if we begin to break above that previous weekly candle's high, there is a high probability that at some point we could end up back up towards this 27.16 to 27.20 sort of region. So we're going to mark in that previous weekly candle's high. We're also going to mark in the current daily low, just see what we've got below it. If we have any sort of catalyst to potentially look for any sells. Yep, just noticed the music. Cheers for that, Sean. So we'll mark that level in. I did mark in another level a little bit lower down when I sent in the weekend update to the members group, and that was this level here, this previous resistance to the left hand side. It's still a potential level that price could pull back to before it heads back up. Now we'll find once we go down to the 4-hour time frame, it kind of lines up with another level of interest, which I am taking note of for price to potentially pull back down to. Onto the daily, and once again more focused on the candles this year as opposed to the actual structure itself. And what we can see is that previous daily candle was once again a strong bullish candle, and above the current previous daily and previous weekly, we've got again clean traffic up towards this 27.20 sort of region. So that would be the likely next destination if we begin to break above that previous daily candle's high. Doesn't mean it all has to happen in one go, so it doesn't all have to happen today, but there's a good chance. We've tapped into that level multiple times. There's a good chance, seeing we are creating some higher highs, higher lows on the approach, there's a good chance we are going to tap into that level at some point yet again. Onto the 4-hour time frame, this is where I'm starting to look at structure a bit more, and what we can see is where the structure will flip back bearish lines up with this resistance here to the left that I had marked in. It's going to mark in that zone. Another level I had marked in for the members, what's the 50% of this zone as a potential level to look for some limit order buys. Obviously nowhere near it at the moment. Let's see if there's any reason for it to pull back to that point. I'll likely be removing that zone a little bit later on, but this is the top-down analysis moving forward into the beginning of the week anyway. So we are bullish on the 4 hour, above that previous weekly candle high once again. Clean traffic up towards that 2720 region. So that looks likely to be our next destination once we begin to move with a bit more volume and begin to break above that previous daily / weekly high. So move on to the 30, and what we can see is just going to mark in that resistance, mark in this support. And for me today, so the 30 minutes also bullish. The catalyst, which will in for me to look for a sell at this stage, is waiting for a structure to flip. If those of you who have been here regularly over the past year, you'd remember on Mondays I trade with the actual strength and direction of the previous weekly candle and the overall bias. I prefer to just let the market do its thing, and if I can find a quality entry in line with the actual trend, then I'm more than happy to look for that entry. If not, I'm a little more patient. So what that means is today, the options going to be a little bit of minor support. I'm going to mark in just here. Now the first option would be, seeing we have pulled down recently to this 2685 to bounce off it, we were to do so yet again, make a clear move back down. So better option would be if we don't close bearish just now, we actually make a pull back up towards that previous weekly candle high, then potentially reject and come back down to 2685, where I would look for my option to buy it. Obviously looking for my price action catalyst from that point there. As one particular level I could get involved. Now I could just drag this down, and what I could say is if we begin to break below that point there, then I feel the next option would be to look for the buys from 2680, around that sort of level, 2680.7. So buys above that point there. Now if anyone's interested, I don't think it's that bad an idea to have a buy limit set at 2667.17. That's where I might consider having a small entry. Now stop loss, I just go a really small entry and have the stop loss safely probably below the swing point around 2660. So it'd be about about 70 pip stop loss, but I'd be targeting the high, so you definitely have more than 1-to-1 if that was to be the case. It's just a little bit more of a longer term trade as opposed to a little scalp. Now the further options would be obviously buys upon them pull back deeper in towards that 2670 support, and then potential options once again above that previous weekly candles high. But like we saw last Friday, even when it's squeaky clean and looks perfect, doesn't always work out that way. So we need to be once again very patient, come up with a plan and just trade the plan and the rules, and we get our option, we take it. Fantastic. That's what we do best on this stream. Stick to the rules and stick to the plan. So that is gold. I will give you sell options if they do present. I won't be taking them because I don't, again, it's Monday and this is how I trade on a Monday. All those sell options, yeah, maybe a sneaky sell below 2683 to take it back down to the support 2680 roughly. It is the most recent support form within the current day's candle. It's not quite current daily candles low though, but if we would begin to break it, high probability will come back down to the current daily low. There could be potential further options below that point there. We do reject the previous weekly candles high. Even if we pop above it, we need to reject and close below it. May give you an option to sell at that point as well. So that is gold, guys. Smash the like button, smash the screen, those of you on TikTok, and let's get underway with GJ. Have a look and analyze GJ, and in accordance to, again, the analysis I sent into the members group, gave an option which probably could have got the entry, but I doubt any of the members would have been on the charts. That would have been very, very late night or morning, early morning for those of you over in Europe and the UK. So that's where the majority of my group are from. I wasn't on chart for it, but nonetheless, let's do the analysis on GJ. So weekly, very strong bearish, opposite to gold, closing right near our low, long upper wick, suggesting we've grabbed liquidity from the upside. There is a high probability that the current weekly would do what it is doing just now, that is just create a small upper wick and begin to break below and begin to pop below down towards the next level of support. So we've got a tiny bit more margin below the current daily low, but there's not going to really be any clean entries. I'm pretty sure there's some support just below it. Anyway, based off that, let's go on to the daily, and what we can see is, again, candles are moving to the downside. Structure is also to the downside by the looks of it on the daily time frame. So we could be looking for pullbacks within the current daily candle for potential sells. Now I'm going to mark in the current daily candles high and see what we've got above it, if there is any catalyst to look for a potential buy. What we are doing is tapping into support just now on the daily time frame. So if we do begin to bounce off it and break our own high, perhaps that will give us an indication that this could be, again, holding as support, this 190.85 roughly, and we could be heading back up a little bit further. Onto the 4 hour, doesn't really line up with anything on the 4 hour, the daily high. A little bit of support to the left hand side. We are very bearish, obviously, on the 4 hour as well. Just gonna mark in, don't have support just yet. I'm gonna mark in the support a little bit lower down for the time being. As we can see, we're very close to it, so it's going to be difficult selling it on continuation. Also going to mark in level just here. Let's just see what that looks like on the M30 time frame and see what the options are. So as we can see, that lines up with an actual structure flip, so I think that's relevant. So we will leave that. Actually, we might just adjust it ever so slightly to incorporate the high of that area. And what we're going to be saying is anything below 192.90 for today, I'd rather be looking for the sell options. Very similar to gold, but in the opposite direction. Biases to all to the downside at the moment. GJ, gold's all to the upside. So that being said, I'd rather look for sells. Right now, is there a little bit of margin? There's no lower wick in the previous candle, so that breaks a rule. So what I'll be looking at is preferably a pullback, a deeper pullback on GJ, and the deeper the better, because it gives us more margin to play on the way back down. So once again, if we do pull back towards that 190.05, I mean 192, sorry, 0.05, well, that's where I've looked for my potential sell options. I highly doubt we're going to get the option below the current daily low, because yeah, we're running straight into that support, so bit of an issue. Now the buy options, I will give those the preference. Again, the market can do whatever, the markets can do whatever they want to do. I have to listen to what I want it to do. Preference would be for it to come down, close below this week, create a lower low. Then we may have we will have a swing point just here, these last two bullish candles, and if we would begin to pop above it, we're going to be flipping a 30-minute structure at 4 hour support. That would be my catalyst. That would most definitely be my catalyst to start to actually look for a more higher probability buy option. That is what I've been looking for. So other than that, what I like to see usually in this situation after a big sell-off is minimum high time frame candle closing back in the opposite direction. So I really like for it to tap into this support, then at the 4 hour closing back bullish, and then once we go down to the 30, even on the 15, a little bit of structure forming where we bounce off it, high lows, high highs, closing the 4 hour bullish. Then the option we could get would be to either get involved on the new 4 hour cranks lower wick, like so, or upon continuation it breaks above its own the previous candle's high, for instance. So that is a GJ, guys. Would prefer to sell it. Would potentially have an option moving forward. I mean, we'll see where this 15-minute candle closes. It's likely going to need to wait for a 30-minute candle. We'll see anyway. Focus for me is gold, but gold looks like trash at the moment. So, guys, welcome. TikTok, a lot of you on there. Sorry I missed all your names. So welcome to all you guys. Thank you for all the new followers. Do appreciate it. I've got a target of 2,000, so we got to 1,000 pretty quickly. Let's get to 2,000 quickly. So the only way to do that is if you guys help spread the word. So if you can, please share this the stream. Much appreciated. YouTube, as always, same faces. Sean, hope you're well, brother. Your week, let's go. Yep, the real start for me of trading for the year is this week. James, morning to you, brother. Beats, good morning as always. Ghost Trader, been a while, still on. Oh, Ghost Trader, sorry. Realized who you are just now. Hope you're well. Just popping in to say hi. Happy New Year and hope all is well. Likewise to you, mate. Hope all is well. And yeah, good to see you on the stream. Franco, good morning to you. Sean, weekend was good, mate. Thank you. Hope yours was as well. Sketchmas, morning to you. F. All good, mate. All good. Welcome to you. Those of you on TikTok, what have I missed? Bullish or bearish on gold? Dan? I am very bullish on gold at the moment. Jamie, what's some tips for me and my mate trying to start day trading as beginners? Watch my stream on the regular. You'll pick up a lot about, especially about patience and discipline, and how you don't always need to be involved in a trade. That, you know, for most traders, that's the issue. The lack of self-control on the charts, and they kind of treat it as a casino. So I would probably direct you towards baby pips. And this will help you with terminology and just the real basics of trading. And once you've done that, just make sure to join my streams on the daily. It's for free. You'll pick up a lot about, you know, what I do. It might work for you. And yeah, that's probably what I would recommend, to be honest. All good, Jamie. All good. AUD buy or sell? Jared? Well, I don't trade it because I don't want to sell it. Obviously I'm an Aussie, but it's not that, because I do transact, send money overseas frequently. So I want a strong Aussie, and it's more been everything but of late. So but in my opinion, it's a sell. It's definitely a sell. I think the majors, all of them, a blanket across the board, are a sell. Now there will be pullbacks. What I'd be looking for is above the current daily high. Could be a level to potentially get involved if obviously you start to consolidate on the 4 hour. Don't have data to the left, I don't think, because it hasn't been this level for many a year. It's, for me, today I'd be focused on the sells, where it be upon continuation below the low at that point there, 61,313, or sells from back up at the resistance around at 61,618. Would strongly consider buying it above 61,718, but not on the first initial break and close above, because it would have come from very far behind, below. So for instance, if it did a bit of this, popped above, then what I want it to do is pop back down, right? Either an equal low or slightly higher low. And then potentially at that point, I can start looking for options from lower down. Otherwise, get involved on continuation. Once you're forming a little bit of structure from these lows at the moment, I'd be hesitant to buy it. Good morning to you, Sharif. Hope you're well, brother. Members, apologies. I will send the link just now. Had a crazy weekend, guys, and had zero sleep almost for 3 nights in a row. Last night was the first night I actually had some sleep. And that was because... oh, man. Why was I suspended? TikTok's on. Alright. Did I say something? No idea. Nah, no idea. That's bloody frustrating. Sake. Sorry guys, it's just there's a lot more people on TikTok than what there is on YouTube. Oh, that's disappointing. I think it's because I hit one little text line at the bottom today, because I've got the same line flowing across the screen about it's not being financial advice. I still have it on there, but I decided to hide one of them. It sucks. That really sucks. It's gonna be a frustrating time. Sometimes they reverse it within like minutes, so I'm kind of hoping that happens. Not sure what I said or done that to the algorithm off, pissed it off, but anyway. YouTube guys, that means you guys are going to be with it today. You guys are going to chat to me. Lau, good morning to you. Yeah, must have been. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if they will jump across TikTok to YouTube, but anyway. It happens. What can you do? So GJ looks better for anyone who's interested in counter trend buying it. I'm really not. Again, I'd be happy to call it, but I'm all about patience and discipline. I don't want to start going against, you know, what I do best just to take extra trades on the stream. I had a long hard think about it over the break, because I know one of the reasons why I'm not getting as many people on the actual YouTube side of things is because I'm not in and out of trades every 5 minutes. So I thought maybe I will just take anything that looks decent, but then I thought that's not me. That's just, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely start taking more losses. And I pride myself on being a quality trader and a very disciplined, patient trader. Carl, thank you for the kind words. Gotta stick to your plan and not change for views. Yeah, exactly. Gold looks like shit at the moment. Maybe it's just chilling for a bit. Obviously, a lot of news to come later in the week. Not much to begin. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a small buy limit at 26.67.17. I'm going to have the stop loss. Let me look at it in a higher time frame. Even the day. Let's just see. What levels can we determine be a level that we really don't need to break? I mean, let's just mark in that resistance there, 26.57. Lines up with this support. Still think at 26.60 should be a good enough region, which lines up this swing point here. Yeah, I'm going to actually place that order just now. So I'm going to place a stop loss at 26.60. I'm going to literally go like just a cent, not 1 cent lot, but I'm not going into the full lots for this entry. $26.67.17. All right. So I've placed a little position for that limit order buy at this point. So hold on. J-Man, hope you're well. Welcome. Been a while. Happy New Year to you. Hope all is well, bro. Sean. Angle with the cam and the light. It looked like you got one hench arm and then one skinny. Maybe, I don't know. It's TikTok, that could be a valid reason, so who knows. James, how are you, brother? Sorry, just saw you there.
Yeah, all good, thanks, bro. All good.
That's it. Nice to hear. No, appeal not approved this time, so no, 16th of Jan. Not that it would be, but if there is anyone out there who works for TikTok or whatever listening to this stream on YouTube out of the 21 viewers, DM me. I want to know what the deal is, why I keep getting banned. It makes absolutely no sense. I shouldn't have done that. I don't think you can pull up websites because I think it's financial advice or whatever. You know. Oh, JJ rejecting. Oof. Don't they call that 3 nights? Something like that. There's 3 shooting stars. That's pissed me off. Dawn market's slow, yeah. EJ looks good. EJ looks really good. EJ cells look absolutely beautiful, especially if, I mean, not in the current candle, but if this closes just below, then retest, then EJ cells would be, in my opinion, a really nice option. You've just created a lower high from the pullback. EJ looks pretty good to me. Look at EU quickly. EU, like all the other majors, in a huge downtrend. Looks like it potentially has the capacity to come back down towards first level 101.665, and after that you've got, you know, below parity again, which will likely happen. US dollar is obviously right now very strong. I feel if the actual equity markets and that begin to pull back and begin to go in a bit of a downtrend, kind of looks like they're maybe topping out a bit. Expect the Dixie to continue up. Plus, it's just like I mentioned the other day, it's the best of a bad bunch against all the other majors, so I'm just gonna keep it on gold, guys. If anyone is gonna find something on G, or looking to find something on GJ, let me know. I'll keep an eye on it on my minute trader. But that is the move just now. There's no sells below, in my opinion, because you're selling into major support. Sean, anything happening this week for you, man? Not. I mean, just getting things ready. I've got fortunate enough to have the lovely missus coming, which is good. Yeah, happy it all got approved, or the fees and that, which was always a bit of a concern. So she'll be in a few weeks, so you'll probably see her on stream a bit. Maybe that's something for the stream. Get the numbers up on YouTube. I know you guys would like to look at her more than me, so it's all good. I don't blame you. Coming Oz, yeah. Yep, the end of this month, so yeah, 28th. Looking very much forward to it. And sure, well, it's true. She's I think she's a very pleasant looking girl. Sure, a lot of you would as well. But she's very, very sweet, a lot of character. Yeah, make the streams a little more interesting when they're boring when waiting. There's not much to do but talk shit. Yeah, it's the first time properly overseas. I mean, she's been to Singapore. That's still in the same region. Joe, would I sell gold based on 15 chart? Be worth considering? No, not me. But if it were a normal day, or Would I consider it? I probably would have considered it, maybe. Would have been nicer to have a little bit more of a stronger close. Nah, actually, that is terrible. Nah. No way. Because to me, that's just crap on the 5 minute. And also what this looks like is it could be just building up a little bit more liquidity. I know we don't use chart patterns and all that jazz, but I mean, to me, if we were, kind of looks like a pennant, I think they call it, which tends to break, in this case, to move prior to was to the upside, tends to break to the upside. So yes and no, definitely. So yes and no, that makes sense, doesn't it? Definitely wouldn't be looking to sell it. Yeah, I just wouldn't trust it based on what I see in the 5 minute there. Sean, yeah, first time to us. Close one. Nah. Looking at the 30. Still, look to me, it looks like a really slow trickle down, which often met by bigger impulses to the upside. So, look, it's not a stupid trade, but I don't feel it to be really high quality. So again, my plan is to wait for the buys anyway. I'm not even considering selling it. But yeah, I doubt I would have, in all honesty. Sure, thank you. She is a beautiful lady, inside and outside. Very intelligent, so once again, has traded crypto before, but not Forex. Not a bad one, Sean. We might have to call that for on stream anyway. I'll if going misses on here. This should be a good one. Going to have to change name to only Forex. Nah. I'll even have the camera point to it. So, well, maybe I'll have the camera on point of, you know, just under the desk, just so you guys can see we're not doing anything fishy. Only Forex stream. Just quickly to the members, by the way. Today we're going to start on the education call. We're going to start a new series of what I'm calling the grade the trade series. So what we're going to do is go through each trade setup from the course, and we're going to grade from, like, you know, the most probable. So they will be like the A++ sort of entries down to still valid, but not as probable, more risky, more high risk sort of entries. And that's what we're going to start to go through today. So that's for the members. So we'll begin with the breakout trade today. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to all that. It's something I've been meaning to do. So, and that will be recorded, obviously, for all you guys, the members. Man, if that was because I bloody had a look at baby pips, just because I was literally helping someone out, TikTok is so freaking strict with it, honestly. Maybe I would do it with my bloody top over my shoulder, over my head or something. GJ. Looking at would I have taken it? Maybe. It's easy to say after the fact, but no, lol. I probably would have tried to answer there, but I wasn't paying attention. So how was the weekend, guys? Anyone get up to mischief? Cold. Quite the opposite here, man. It's been a very unusually consistent hot summer for Melbourne. Because we cop it, we cop the extreme, so we get, wow, -6. Yeah, nah, forget that. But I mean, we go from the 40 degrees to like 20 degrees in half an hour. That's what we normally get, things like that. Or you'll get 3 days in a row of, you know, 30 to 40, and then you get 3 days in a row of 18 or something. That's our usual summer, but this summer every day has been around 30. It's quite unusual, and it's been quite tropical. So it's been, yeah, pretty hot. I can't sit in front of the computer at the moment. 3 screens without the fan on me. It's just, it gets too hot. Mr. Phil, good evening to you. Good day to you. Hope you're all, brother. How's it going? Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Looking for, well, waiting for options to buy gold, which at the moment I don't have. Doing alright? Nice one. Man, look at these majors just continue to bleed. You want a signal? Buy DXY. Honestly, DXY, just buy it. Small lot size, buy it and ride it. Wide stop loss. I think it's probably the trade of the year, the Dixie. Just fundamentally speaking, I think US dollar is just going to continue up. Potentially 120 at some point. I probably will open a small long position on the Dixie with leverage. And it's a boring thing because it takes a while to move in that, but I just can't see how the majors are going to recover against it, to be honest, because even if there is a, you know, black swan event or whatever, the money's more than likely going to go out of the pound, the Aussie dollar, the euro, you know, all the other major currencies, and into the US dollar. I think it's probably even more safe than gold at the moment, to be honest. As stupid as it sounds, not long term, definitely not long term. I think the currency at the end will have it stay and will end up being like all other fiat currencies and then be worthless, completely worthless. Still, gold is the actual investment for sure, but as a trade for the year, I think Dixie is looking like it's going to really rip. I mean, you're already in a buy for 26.84 and got a nice one. Okay. So it's trying to make its way down. It's just a slow trickle down at the moment. It's a bit tough. See GJ almost tapping into that level and bouncing. Not quite creating a lower low. Let's check on the 30. No, because this is the lowest point. We need to close below that point to actually, yeah, that needs to close below this point to consider this as a swing point. Therefore, the structure would have been flipping at 191, 530, but it's not to be the case. Once again, if I see what I will determine to be normally a valid buy option, even if I'm not going to take it, I will call it. But again, I'm trying to teach the importance of discipline and patience. And again, whether you guys like it or not, it's just what you're going to get in this on this stream on the regular, because it is something that a lot of streamers don't teach. Or not maybe that they don't teach it, but they're always scoping to find you an entry and they're validating things. And I had a little look at some of the other streams, some replays just over the weekend, and my win rate is still better than quite a lot of them, to be honest, most of them. And again, I think it's because I don't just trade something that's half-assed. It's because I have the patience and, you know, to actually wait for my plan to present, knowing that some days it's just not going to happen. Might happen, you know, some days twice or three days in a row, it might not happen. Mr. Phil, it's approaching a 2-year low. Let's see how it reacts to that. Sean, GU may be a reversal coming at some point. All the majors will make a bit of a reversal at some point. It's just the nature of the markets. They can't always, you know, trend downwards forever. It's in a downtrend. It can't always trend upwards forever, you know, in a straight line. They do make pullbacks. So yeah, as far as, you know, as a potential entry point for a pullback, very similar to GJ. Still want to say it's flipping structure at that point. It'd be flipping micro trend structure. If you can tie it in with a 4-hour closing back bullish, I think it's more probable. And at that point, I'd say it's due for, well, doesn't have to, but there's a high probability, or it, you know, not a high probability, a high chance, high probability, not higher, a high. That's what I'm trying to say. That it will eventually come back up towards this 122 sort of region, 2210, and that's where it may reject and gather a little bit more steam to head back down. But all you can do as a trader is trade what you see. Tammy holding a loss on GA, 1.98848. So yeah, you're in a fair bit of drawdown. What's your exit plan? So this just goes to show how weak the pound is, because the Aussie is extremely weak as well against the US dollar. But it is obviously the pound is leading against the Aussie dollar as well. Would be good for a buy now. What's it? Is it at? It's just broken one for our support, but you are approaching another. So potentially, but once again, being a, you know, confirmation rule-based trader, I probably want to see some sort of confirmation rather than just buying it. I don't know how well the 50% of the zone rule on the 4-hour would work on GA. I have no idea. Gold, I'm prepared to take some limit orders. On GA, you might consider it. Otherwise, what you might consider is, once again, the 4-hour closing back bullish, within it having a little bit of structure form on the M30 and M15, and buy it and following counter, for instance. So if you're thinking about layering in to reduce your entry level. And I understand that not everyone trades the same, so if that works for you, just make sure it's not out of emotion though. You're accepting of the risk and what could happen. Yeah, so that's what I'd be looking at. Yeah, this is good on gold. This is good. This is what I want. Let's come back to the level that one of the potential levels I can consider getting involved. Sean, let me take a look at that. No, not ByBit. I've done that wrong, haven't I? Hold on. I'll get to you in a sec. Yeah, that's probably that's the entry point I'd probably be looking at for me as well. If I was taking into account trend trade, I think that's a good level, because at least you're flipping some sort of microstructure, or you're creating a bit of a higher low. What you might be better to do is to wait for the actual closure, retest, continuation, as opposed to just, you know, the impulse entry above, if that makes sense. But yeah, as far as the net level, I think that's a pretty good level. Cammy, hoping for a reversal. It's about hit stop loss. Oh, okay. Yes, 2685 is where I want to get involved, roughly around this sort of region. Sean, definitely depending how the candle plays out, I guess what price does. Yeah. It does look like a good entry point though. Franco. Looking for EU sales after week M15 close. Yeah, it's not a bad option. Still what's still left though. Pretty sure I won't have the data. No. Over on the hourly. No, 4 hour. Where's price at? Alright. I mean, it looks pretty clean in the 4 hour. That wick might be a little bit, maybe perhaps a bit of support on the 30. Because it is, obviously it's pull back to create a lower wick, it would have formed support at that level. So that's the only thing, you know, I could probably go by, to be honest. But even then, that being said, still got a bit of margin below that point. So yeah, plenty of margin actually. Be nice if it was a bit weaker. Might be best to wait for a 30 close. What I really want on GJ is once again for a 30-minute candle to close below this wick. Why I want that is because we'll confirm a lower low on the imposter downside. What that will also do is switch the last significant lower high from this resistance here to the current level. What that will then do is open up options to start looking for buys from this 4-hour support above the resistance. Once you wait for the 30 minutes to actually close above to confirm that we've flipped the structure back bullish, that's when that is my catalyst. That's something I need to see, because at the moment I don't have anything. It's bearish across the board in a massive downtrend. But if we had that, seeing it is bouncing and tapping into 4-hour support, if that was to be the case, that would give me more, you know, reason and make me feel more comfortable to look for the buys. All right, this is fine on gold. This is not a problem at all. The deeper the better, the cleaner the move the better, the more margin we have to look for the buys. Miss Phil, I'm looking for EU as well, but on the hourly, and we'll prefer the current candle close first. Yeah, that also be nice if we close below or near its low. So once again, guys, I do have a buy limit set right now on gold, right at these lows, and I will keep it in overnight because overnight my time, because it's just a small entry. Could be a way of getting involved, and I think it's a very good level to target for potentially the lower wick on the new weekly candle. If I can get tagged in and not have my stop loss hit, then I'd be prepared to ride the trade. I'm going to trial it, where I try to ride it for a little. I'll probably close out the moment I close out for the week myself. That being a Friday, not long after the stream, is when I'll probably just close the trade. Because there's obviously swap fees and all that, which you will be paying either way. But over the weekend, I don't want to hold trades over the weekend. Also, you never know what could happen as far as, you know, the news and that. Or could, you know, gap down the open of the week, gap straight up, who knows. But yeah, so for that reason I'd probably close, if it was trading, close it out if it had not closed out on, you know, by the time I close out on Friday. All right, 10.5 minutes until session open, guys. I've just updated the stream record, by the way, after Friday. Not to be honest, again, I wasn't even playing last week in trading. Stupid day to trade, to be honest, the NFP day. Again, it was a tiny entry, but still count. It's got to add it to the stream record. It was taken on stream. All right, JJ bouncing. So yeah, so for the counter trend buys, the option would be, again, you want to see a closure above this point here, above 191.533. That is, in my opinion, the best counter trend option just now. It looks like it's not going to do what I would have preferred for it to have done. So that would be your potential option. Good news come out of the UK not that too long ago. Some interest rate futures show the Bank of England is expected to cut rates by about 44 basis points by the end of 2025, compared with expectations of 50 points on Friday. Not sure why they're cutting rates when inflation is, it's across the world, inflation's still not under control. There's no way. And to be honest, inflation's first of all, they have no idea what true inflation is, and it doesn't include most important things. So most of it doesn't include, you know, food and all the basic needs. The other thing which I just don't understand is why they target 2%. Why don't they target 0%? That's what the target should be. I have never understood that. Why are they targeting 2%? Shouldn't they be targeting 0%? So gold, got a little bit of 5-minute resistance at support. No catalyst for me to buy it at all, to be honest. Yeah, 2 minutes until session open, guys, so it's nothing at the moment, but all good. And it is a Monday, there's plenty of time. DJ looking good, really good for sellers still, in my opinion. London Open, that probably looks the best. So what you've done is nice strong closure on the 30 right near the low. Current candle is pulling back a bit. I would want it to respect the high of this zone, so respect the open of the candle form, support, the first candle form support yet again at this level. So really you want it to close below minimum 160.788, and at that point just wait for a little bit of an upwork, and then I'd be looking to sell it at London Open. EJ looks really good to me. I think that is by far and away the best option at the moment if anyone does trade EJ. But the way it's bouncing just now, then doesn't look likely. All right, so we're coming close to the open and there is absolutely nothing at the moment. All right, guys, session open. Let's see. Gold bouncing. A bit of volume for the open, but just absolutely no way to get involved in my opinion. Going all good, mate. All good. Take care. Thank you for joining. So GJ, I'd be waiting for a closure above, but again, I'm not going to take it counter trend. Hasn't created a low just here, so I'm not flipping any structure, but I will call it if anyone is interested in taking it. You've set your own risk. It's not going to count as a trade on the stream. But you still need to wait for, I'd be waiting for the 30. I don't trust JJ enough in the 15, to be honest. If you do, by all means go for it. I don't. Gold's a different story. 15's definitely closing nicely, strong. It's made the move within itself. There is absolutely no margin up to 26.90 now. Once you break the high, if let's just measure it, it's probably like 6 pips to that resistance. What's the deal, guys? Anyone currently running any trades other than, I know, Cammy, you were? Anyone else? Anyone get involved at session open? What's the deal, guys? Carl, you just watching? Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get clean entries at the moment. All good. Carl? Possibly. It's a screen going like that. Like my camera lost focus. It's yeah. So I mean, to me, and I know there's going to be a few smart asses probably saying when I say this, probably going to say, but that's every day for you, mate. I go about it, and every day is a no trade day unless there's something that's really, really good that's going to, you know, persuade me the other way to take a trade. Again, because I'm all about patience and discipline, so I don't believe we should come to a chart anticipating, expecting to take trades. We should come to a chart thinking, well, what's going to actually, you know, like tip me over the line to actually pull that trigger and set the order. You know, you want to fish for a quality entry. It's like when you're young and you go to the nightclub or something with your mates and you spot the one cracking girl, and then you got a few other fish nibbling beside you, showing some interest, but you're just kind of not. You're playing it cool, waiting a minute, you know, waiting a while. Had a few more drinks, chatting with your mates and that. And then you decide to go to the toilet and you do a bit of a detour in towards her direction. You sort of, you know, you get the idea then and there if that's going to be, you know, a viable trade, viable, you know, lady. If you can get to know her a bit better, make, you know, think of whatever you want of that. Not say anything. And that is quality. When you're hunting quality, that's what you're doing. It's the same on the charts for me. I'm only hunting quality. I don't come to a stream or to a training session, whether it be away from the stream or on the stream, thinking, right, so we're gonna take a trade today. We're gonna have to take a trade today. You know, it's every day's a trade out. I never go into it like that. I always go into it thinking, well, what's gonna make me want to take a trade today? Because otherwise, I'm just not gonna trade. I'm not gonna risk my cash. I hate giving away money for just pressing a button. I hate it. I think it's bloody stupid, but it's unfortunate, and it's just reality of trading. You can't always press the button and take money from the market. Sometimes you gotta accept and take, you know, accept the fact and take your loss. But it's a lot easier to accept if you plan that trade and it did tick the box. So Fridays for me, it not one bit concerned at all, because it was such a small entry. Plus I'd take that trade every day of the week, to be honest. That was top quality. Just didn't work. I even said prior to it, it almost seems too good to be true, this entry, and they're the ones that sometimes won't work. Maybe it's time to consider contrarian entry to that, to be honest. When they look too good, we'll do the opposite. Because that was just, in my opinion, what I determined to be pretty much the perfect breakout entry. I've had the 15 closure on gold. It's closed strong and bullish. Above the high, forget it. You've got absolutely no margin. Gold's just a bit tricky. It's in the middle of this consolidation. It's not trending. DJ, again, if it were me, I would wait for the 30. 15's closed above, no upper wick. High risk entry. If it pulled back to tap into this resistance and then breaks its own high, what sort of margin is there? Definitely enough. So that might, you know, it's a good fancy of a few of you. Oh, great. I thought it was pretty good. So don't tell me you didn't do the same when you were younger, mate. Go into the pub or the club. There was always that one. Ilya, which pair do you just trade as beginner? I'd probably trade the majors, to be honest, because they don't tend to move as quickly as, or they're not as volatile. Like the volume within the candles, if you were to measure them against gold or GJ, for instance, it's the size candle. That's a pretty big candle for EU, especially on 15. That's 17 pips. Let's measure it against this GJ 15-minute candle. It's 54 pips, so that's a much bigger candle. So I'd stick to the majors. I'd probably start with maybe some wider sort of risk and probably target the one-to-ones, risk to reward, and just see how it goes. Because then you know if you're generally getting the right direction of things. But yeah, I'd probably go for EJ. Sorry, not EJ. EU, AU, GU. GU is maybe a little bit more volatile. Probably not. UJ, dollar CAD, those sort of pairs, to be honest. Thank you for the question, by the way. Carl was actually a good boy, younger. Just went out for fun, never looked for women. Sorry, I know. Worst part is didn't drink either, so couldn't blame the drink. Yeah, well, you go. But that's another thing I always say: if you're not looking for it, that's when you find it. So I'd be the same, but occasionally it's just one that you really, oof, God, caught the eye and game over. You, if it wasn't that, it was nothing. Off proceedings, guys. Let's scope. Let's see. Is there anything to you very similar to GJ? EU once again, same. Let's look at it on the 30. I mean, EU could be a decent counter trend option on the closure of the 30. So could GUG, looks pretty good. You wouldn't want it to push too much further. It's going to obviously into the margin. Looks like it could do. All the majors in the exact same moment. AU, I'll be waiting for now rejection or to see if price does reject 6160 to 6170. So that's what I'd probably be doing on all the majors at the moment. Looking to see where was the most recent resistance at above the current level. So they're currently pulling back a little bit at the open. And I'd be targeting those levels as the areas I want price to react to look for my potential sell option. Euro CAD. At a pretty strong daily support. Yeah, it's at a tough level. So at this level, I'd be looking for structure flips on the 30 for potential buys. And Euro CAD, you're going to get that very shortly, potentially. So this is kind of what I was hoping for on GJ. So we created a lower low just here. So in doing so, we would have just use a horizontal. That was the lowest point of the impulse to the downside. We've created a lower low just here. Therefore, the swing point now is this region here. So this resistance. And if we close above in 10 minutes, what you're going to be doing is flipping 30-minute structure bullish, bouncing off the support, the high time frame support. That's your catalyst, and you've got some clean traffic to the left. So that would be the option to buy it. I would still definitely consider selling it on rejection of that 147.80 sort of region as well. Just quickly looking at the weekly's bearish, daily is structurally bearish and counter probabilities to the downside, but it is at that support. Wow, it's bearish. So yeah, so the bias is bearish, but your catalyst is just to wait for the 30 minutes flip bullish, and then you'd have more probable buy options in my personal opinion. Otherwise, potential sells upon continuation below low, or again rejection because around that 147.80 is still technically bearish in your bias in the other time frames. So Euro CAD looks probably the best at the moment. BJ pulling back as well. GCAD the same as Euro CAD. That's another good one. Structure flip will be potentially shortly on the 30. That is your catalyst. Got clean traffic to the left. So for those of you who do trade GCAD or Euro CAD, that's probably what you'd be waiting for. So in 8.5 minutes time, you want to see closure above this point here. New candles to retest. And as it begins to break above your catalyst high, catalyst high, that is your potential entry. So if we remember, we'll keep a bit of an eye on it. A little bit of margin on GJ as well. This candle closed above the resistance. Now the good thing is, this in my opinion will still validate a potential buy upon continuation above. It's a zone to zone trade, so it's not, obviously it's not a breakout above the catalyst high, which would be this 30-minute candle. If this candle closes somewhat like let me just draw it beside it. For instance, like so. Because within it, we've got on the 5-minute, got the retest. So as long as we bounce back up in the next 7 minutes and close back above, what we would have done is we've retested this zone. So on the open of the new candle, you guys know how I like to see a wick form the opposite direction. What we normally like to see is the wick tapping into that zone. then bouncing off it. In this case, we don't necessarily need to pull the way back to tap in because we've already done so within the catalyst candle. Now all we're doing is waiting for a bit of a low wick, and then the entry begins to break above. In anticipation, it could come up towards 192.05. That is what you're looking at, but currently now it's just melting, so still a lot of water to go under a bridge for that to be valid. Have to wait and see. Gold also rejecting. Very tricky at the moment, guys. Very tricky. So once again, we just practice patience. Hopefully you liked that little bit of education. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. If you like that little analogy about spotting quality, also hit the like button. I was always about quality. Always. Carl, all good, mate. All good. Appreciate you as always. Thank you. You take care. Have a good one. And yeah, sure. I'll see you tomorrow. Tell me what I wait for it. No, like I just mentioned, if as long as this candle closes above, then we don't necessarily need to retest. The thing is, if it does close literally just above, it likely will retest, creating a small lower wick. But again, like I mentioned before, be really best if it closed stronger. You know, be closer to its high, the better. And then I don't need that retest. I just need a small lower wick of some sort and buy as it breaks the high. Because once again, we've had the retest within this 30-minute catalyst candle on the 5-minute time frame. So hopefully that answers your question. So this is starting to look better. He really wants to close strong now. And what would close a weak bearish M15 GJ, and that will close a weak bearish 15 on GJ as well. Yeah, and that's a good point. That's a really good point. That's that little pause. That's another signal in price action. So you can almost use the fib trick on that one. And in my opinion, the A+ sort of entry is above 38.2%. Above 50 is valid, so we can mark that in as well. Cammy, all good, mate. All good. Thank you for the question. Mr. Phil, all good, mate. Not sure if you're about for the education session. You might be busy. Won't be on for MY. MY will be tomorrow and Wednesday. But I will be on not too long after the stream for the education session. Gold's a bit tricky at the moment. There's nothing for me on gold. So let's just watch GJ. Alright, so it is struggling to close strong, so it looks like it might not be valid. Yep, so it's not closed above, so not even flip micro trend. I mean, you've closed above the bodies, which is decent. The issue my issue is you gotta travel fair distance just to be triggered into a trade if you're getting involved with the counter probabilities once it breaks the high. Some would be just buying it as upon the closure of that candle. It's not what I like to do. So yeah, so I wasn't going to take it, but I'm not even going to call it because I don't feel it's a valid entry to call. Nor is gold. There's nothing there. GU, sorry, is closed below, so there's no, in my opinion, no valid entry there. EU is a similar story. It's actually closed just below long upper wick as well, so again, no real entry. Euro CAD not flipped the structure as well, nothing there. GCAD rejecting as well, so again, no valid entry. And when I say no valid entry, I mean, you know, on my behalf, the way I trade. Alright guys, so I'm going to get going too, because I'm not getting anything just now, I can see it. I do appreciate you all for joining. Bit, you know, disappointing, lost TikTok again. Hopefully it's not a permanent ban, because I think it's a few times this account's been banned already. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for joining. If you've not done so, make sure to hit the like button. Members, I'll be seeing you guys in probably about 15 to 30 from now. I'll let you know. And yeah, we'll begin that series of rating the entries. VIP, guys. If anyone would like to know about VIP and any of the services, feel free to contact me or just click on the links in the description below. Guys, thank you once again, and tomorrow I'll be on same time as usual. Look forward to seeing you all then. Hopefully the markets will be a little bit more favorable. So once again, gold, just waiting for, at this rate, it either buys above the high or deeper pullback for a buy. It's just choppy at the current level. So maybe look for at 2680. I do have a limit order set at 266717 to be exact. Just a fishing entry, see if it gets triggered in. That's what I'd be looking at. GJ, I'd be looking for rejection to sell it personally, around at 192.05 on the pullback. Yeah, that's about it. Alrighty guys, take care, trade safe, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Bye guys.